Kia ora, New Zealand. The day before I publicly accused New Zealand's Prime Minister, Bill English, of having the blood of fetus's miscarried and biopsied babies on his hands at a 1080 resistance rally a couple of weeks ago in Greymouth, I visited the local Cons Department office. I told them I admired and respected their work and regretted that we'd become adversaries. In 1995, the Cons Department actually engaged my firm to act as agricultural consultants on Tangi Te Koro Whiti, the ancient sacred Buddha kawa tree that my tupuna Hororoa had tied the Tainui Waka up to when it first entered Kawhia Harbour, and I was truly honoured to be given that responsibility by the Department of Conservation. In that Greymouth Conservation Department office, I informed their operational manager. I didn't hold him personally responsible. The fact he'd overseen around 40 1080 aerial drops across New Zealand, because New Zealand now, kids are growing up knowing that's what the Department of Conservation do. They drop poison out of helicopters. It's basically the 1080 poison department. And so I don't hold it against him. He's got a family to feed. I don't have a problem with him. I said, I really regret that we've potentially fall out over this. The people I do hold responsible are the current and past Ministers of Environment and Health. The label of 1080 says, avoid pollution of any water supply, may damage the unborn child. I mean, this isn't rocket science, folks. That's what its own label said. When we pointed that out to Simon Upton in 1994, he conspired with his cronies to produce a document telling us that unless a waterway was more than 3 metres wide, it didn't count as a waterway. And yet anyone who's ever entered the New Zealand bush knows you're lucky to find a waterway wider than a metre. They don't get to 3 metres until they get to the land, the flat land down the bottom. So I personally hold responsible for the miscarriages and the birth defects that are occurring around New Zealand now as a result of Aerial 1080. The current Ministers of Health and Environment, that's Nick Smith, who's recently just changed the rules so that now a pregnant mother doesn't even have to be told that they're going to be dropping the poison upstream of the water supply. Previously they had to inform her. And the current Health Minister, Jonathan Coleman, instead of instructing the medical officers of health to act in the interests of the community, your health ministers are not just abdicating their responsibilities, they are aiding and abetting the poisoners escape responsibility for the very real seriousness of their actions, such as the 2 Greymouth sisters who had 1080 dropped on them while they were in a picnic. We're still waiting for the final report from your medical officer of health, Cheryl Brunton, 3 years after the event. On top of that, she's lied. She claims a security guard. I saw him going at 11 out at 5. There was no security guard. When your medical officer of health is actually telling lies to protect the poisoners, something is truly rotten in this country. In 1995, Simon Upton and Bill English deliberately covered up the very real concerns that their own health ministry officials had as early as the 24th of August 1995. And I produced as evidence of that a handwritten memo note. A handwritten memo note which was the one thing I hadn't had prior to this, but here it is. And in this paragraph here, it says, agree further drops of 1080 are irresponsible and that we could be looking at another 245T. And it concludes by saying, the report has been prepared for Bill English via the Health Ministry's Natalia, that's Natalia, Foronda, Foronda. Now that report's very interesting. It's a matter of public record that Official Information Act requests going back to last year are not just not complied with, it's actually been stamped refused. And yet, the Official Health Ministry letter that accompanied that handwritten note tells us no information related to your request has been withheld other than the names of private individuals. Yet, the parents of children of suspected 1080 health conditions tabled the following documents, clearly showing the Green Party, the National Party and the Labour Party, respective ministers of health, were clearly aware of the health implications and actively involved in either investigating or, we would suggest, uninvestigating the health issues. So here again, 19th of June 2017, Health Ministry claiming that the handwritten note and accompanying email that accompanied it is all that they hold as proof of the corruption in the ministry, the very same ministry that should be protecting the health of our children, as proof of the corruption that exists. I'm going to table the following documents. Remember, they have said that those two, the email and the letters, all that exist. I'm going to produce the following documents. They are originals, they are signed, and I'm going to introduce them in chronological order. Remember, because we know this is a lie, because the handwritten note says the report's being produced for Bill English. So straight away they're lying when they tell us that the handwritten note and the facsimile pastry of it are all that exists. So that's your first lie, Health Ministry. Jonathan Coleman, stand down. Bill English, stand down. You had the blood of Featherston's miscarried and biopsied children on your hands. Lower Upper Health letter, dated 12 July 1995, 12 June. Remember, we've just been told that what they sent me was all we had. Dear Sir, Madam, your letter to the Chief Executive, requesting information on stillborn babies in the Featherston Greytown area for the years 91, 92, 93, 4 has been passed on to me. It goes on to say, I'll read it. Could you please supply additional information as your usage of the data, reasons for your need, your perspective around this request? We're not able to supply these details without more information as to why you require this information and for what purpose. For what purpose? I would have thought it was pretty blooming obvious. If you can expand on your request, we would then consider our ability to meet this request. And I table that as indicative of the Health Ministry's entire approach, that of not only abdicating the responsibility to the unborn children of New Zealand, but aiding and abetting the consequences of the poisoning. Sadly, the document trail does not end there. And again, we come back to the key document, 19 June 2017, the handwritten note and the email is all that exists on the subject. Well, really, we know for starters there was a report sent to Bill English. Where's that? But it doesn't stop there. We have also signed handwritten signatures. The Office of the Honourable Tariana Tuvia. Fire Tariana was the Green Party Health Ministry spokesman at the... So, thank you for your letter, 3rd of April, to the Prime Minister concerning a suggested link between 1080 drops and an increase in the incidence of miscarriages. I'm replying on behalf of the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health. Well, why was that document not produced when an OIA request for all correspondence and reports pertaining to a possible link between 1080 and mitochondrial disorders in the Featherston area. Why was this one not supplied Health Ministry officials? I realise in the short term that you're not going to get good footage, but all these documents as this can be supplied. So that's the first letter. And there was Green Party spokesman Tariana Turia. Remembering we've been told that no other information exists. We've now got Labour's Minister of Health, Annette King. Thank you for your letter regarding the aerial application of 1080 in Featherston. My apology for the delay in responding. Why was that not included in response to the OIA request? Sadly, it does not stop there. Thank you for your further letters of 3rd of April and 21st of May to Honourable Tariana Turia and me concerning the application of 1080 in the Wairarapa, the Office of the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister, and that signed Helen Clark, Prime Minister of New Zealand. So we see that we have information that on the 24th of August 1995 Health Ministry officials agreed further 1080 drops were responsible. We could be looking at another 245T, and yet for the 22 years since they've not only continued dropping, they have increased the rate at which they drop. Karamea, which sadly features in statistics for both miscarriages and possible suspected health conditions amongst infants, is about to be dropped on for the second time in 7 months. We're not just talking about health issues here, we are talking about a financial misappropriation of massive proportion. Was 1080 be doing the job that they claim it is, then why is it so necessary to be done 7 months apart in the same area? When asked why that was happening, the reply to locals was, well, the previous job was done by the TB-free people. This one's being done by Conservation Department. Which brings us to the current point, where to from here. Given the clear evidence of a cover-up, going back to the report that was about to be sent to Bill English, 24th of August 1995, there can be no further aerial 1080 drops in this country until that report has been supplied and made available to the pregnant mothers of New Zealand in those drop zones. Furthermore, we call on the Environment Minister, Nick Smith, to try and atone for his disgraceful 22 years of conduct and immediately instigate use his powers under the Hazardous Substances and New Organisms Bill. Use your powers there, Nick, to immediately call for an immediate reassessment of 1080 by the Environmental Protection Agency. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Pai mārere.
Well done.